Hey, the Heels put in some hard work for that one, baby.
You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ, the Tar Heel. And in this huddle, we're going to talk about the 75-72 victory that my Tar Heels had over the Miami Hurricanes down in South Florida. And oh, what a victory, bro. Coach Hubert Davis gets his first win against the Miami Hurricanes. North Carolina kind of erases that bad taste in their mouth with that Clemson loss at home. They right the ship, get a big road victory against a decent Miami team in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And you just can't say enough about how these guys think I'm battled in this game. Carolina had a 12-point lead in the first half, blew it. Miami takes a 1-point lead into halftime. Carolina has a 12-point lead in the second half, blew it. And guess what? Miami comes storming back for all intents and purposes, but the Heels were able to hold on, man. They did just enough, man, and they played really good defense down the stretch, man. Really good defense down the stretch, because at one point, Miami was shooting 50% from the field and from three. But first and foremost, man, congratulations to my man Elliot Cadeau. Career high, 19 points, 8 assists. Yes, he had 5 turnovers, a little bit less than 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. That's kind of like the standard, at least, back when I was a young whippersnapper myself, that was the standard for a point guard. But 8 assists, 19 points, and he was aggressive all stinking night. And probably the best thing that we were able to see is that he went 2 for 6 from 3. Anytime Elliott was able to step into it, set his feet, nice form shot, boom. Seemed like it looked really good coming out of his hands. And I think there was another one, man, that was kind of in and out. So good to see Elliott knock down a couple of threes. People are going to have to respect it, especially if you can string together back-to-back games where they're just going to leave you open. Hey, man, make them pay. And Elliott did that. But great to see him score 19 and also have 8 assists. Harrison Ingram finishes with 13 and 5. Armando had a tough 10 and 15, man, and he was battling all stinking game with Norchad Omier, dude. I mean, that guy's a stinking load. He's a stinking load. We'll talk about him here in a little bit, but he battled, and he had a huge block inside of a minute, man, that really gave Carolina an opportunity. They got fouled, went to the line, and kind of stretched out that lead a little bit. So Armando played very well defensively down the stretch, really muscled out. Another double-double. I think it's his 78th of his career, if I'm not mistaken. Just a really gritty performance from Armando. And then R.J. Davis had 25, and he kind of saved us from 3. He ends up going 5 for 11. He only shot 6 for 19 from the floor, scores 25 again. Maybe kind of force some things from time to time because his field goal percentage from the floor, not from 3, but, from the floor in general, has been down a little bit. He's taken a lot of shots, but, I think there were times where he kind of felt like he needed to score for Carolina. But he finishes with 25, had a stretch where he hit some really big free throws that were pivotal in keeping Carolina, within arm's reach of Miami, and just a big stinking game from all these guys. Cormac goes 2 for 5 from 3. So he follows up that 0 for 6 performance at home. He goes 40% from 3 today. And you know what? We'll take it. 2 for 5. He goes 2 for 6 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. He had an opportunity to hit 2 free throws at the end. He only made the front end of a 2-shot foul, but which enabled Miami to kind of stay around. You would have liked to see him knock both of those down, but he did hit one that made it a 2-possession game. He finishes with 7 points. Carolina's bench finished with 1 point. That's Zayden High, obviously, on a free throw. So not much from the bench tonight. They provided a ton of minutes. Wojcik had 3 rebounds. He didn't score, didn't have any assists or anything like that. He kind of did fly around for a little bit. When Wojcik comes in, he's going to give you some energy. But once again, bro, you missed Seth. And hopefully Seth gets healthy soon, because we got a kind of a quick turnaround with Syracuse in 3 days all the way up in New York. So got to really be excited just to watch this team grit out these wins. And I'm telling you right now, man, once again, Carolina doesn't score 80. They're between 70 and 75. They're averaging 71 on the road. That's probably where we're going to be. So they're not going to score a ton of points on the road. I think that's understood you right now. So what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to lock up defensively. They didn't do that very well in the first half. The second half, they only let up 31 points, man. So that's winning basketball. Feel good when Carolina gives up 30 points in a half. Once again, Norchet Omier had a ball game. He didn't do much in the second half, though. He only scored 4 second-half points because he went into the locker room with 16. And then Nigel Pack, also, he had 18, and he didn't really do anything in the second half either. So I think RJ got into his chest a little bit. EC was guarding him in the first half a lot. RJ kind of got in his chest. There was a couple of times where Cormac was playing defense against him, a bigger body, and Nigel got a little bit hurt. I don't know if it was cramps or what, but he wasn't able to play in a fairly large stretch of the game. Later on, he did eventually come back in, but he wasn't able to really do what he was doing in the first half. So Carolina finishes the game shooting 40.7% from the floor, 35.5% from 3, not spectacular, but serviceable. They had 16 turnovers, man. 16 turnovers. And what was keeping Miami in the game, and a lot of those, they're just long and athletic, They had 22 points off of those 16 turnovers. So that really killed Carolina. It kept Miami in the basketball game, and it's something that they got to clean up, bro. Have to clean up the turnovers. 16 is way too many. But Carolina was +5 on the rebounds. So, I think they were +1 against Clemson, +5, not really rebounding the ball as effectively, but +5 on the rebound. So Miami finishes the game 42.4% from the field, 26.1% from 3. And that was kind of the big thing. Miami just went cold in the second half, dude. Just cold from 3, and it really allowed Carolina to kind of balloon out that lead, and they're able to preserve it at the end. So huge win, man. Huge win for North Carolina. And then it'll be interesting because Duke won, so Carolina goes back to 1.5 games ahead of them. And then Virginia plays tonight at Florida State, which is a big game. So that's one that Tar Heel Nation needs to keep their stinking eyes on, because we only play Virginia one time, and it's at Virginia. And that's coming up in a couple of weeks. So that's going to be a big basketball game. The more that they can lose before that, it will greatly benefit the Heels. But 19-5, bro. 19-5, 11-2 in the conference, man. Big road win. And I feel a little bit better because Carolina came in focused off the jump. I don't like them giving up the leads. I feel like there was a couple times they should have ballooned out those 12-point leads to 15, 16, 17, maybe ride the starters just a little bit longer until you really kind of break the spirit. But they were able to fight back, hold on to the end, and get a big on-the-road conference victory. So let me know what you think about this game down in the comment section, Tar Heel Nation. I'm going to take this W all stinking day, bro, as Lil Russ put on the poster. Carolina gets the W, big stinking W following that Clemson loss, man, and you got to feel good getting the first one of this 2-game short road trip, man. Syracuse on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Make sure you guys come and hang out for that one, because that's going to be another big opportunity for Carolina to string together a W, man. So Like I said, man, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already, man, consider becoming a member of the Huddle Hooligans. Shout out to Robert, man. I appreciate the super chat, brother. I appreciate all of Tar Heel Nation and everybody else, the college basketball fans that came in and hung out for a little bit as the Heels dropped the Miami Hurricanes 75-72. How about them Heels, baby? It's a great day to be a Tar Heel. We'll catch you on the next one, Tar Heel Nation.